In racing, we cheer for the teams and drivers we love, and we boo the ones we don't. We live for the victories and feel the heartbreaks, sometimes even more than we know. But it's hard to measure the impact a racing team can have on us on a Sunday afternoon. It's more than the engines roaring or the thrill of a finish. It's the people, the moments they give us, the emotions they stir, the stories they write. Stewart-Haas Racing is a testament to all of that. A great story in NASCAR, now coming to a close. One day we'll look back and we'll miss their presence in this sport, but Stewart-Haas' story, like the races, won't be defined by the ending. It'll be defined by the moments in between. The grit, the guts, the close calls, the risks taken, the passion, the teamwork, the relentless drive. It started with Tony Stewart and Gene Haas, a bold entrepreneur and a fiery old-school racer. In 2009, they joined forces with one goal: trophies. From day one, Smoke made it clear mediocrity wasn't welcomed here. They had to perform and get buy-in on the vision.
I have every expectation of going out and winning races next year. If I didn't feel like that we could do that, then I wouldn't have made this decision.
Expectations? Those are one thing. Execution, that's what separates the good from the great. In a sport where winning isn't a 50-50 shot, Tony and Gene knew they needed a different mentality, and racers were the key. Stewart-Haas was built on toughness, unapologetic ways, and hiring good people. No fluff or egos were welcomed there. At first, many in NASCAR wondered if Tony could lead a team. That includes me. Could he delegate? Could he drive while leading others? Did his demeanor lend itself to the leadership required for greatness? Watching this team in those early years is a story I'll always cherish. They built it from scratch, fueled by sheer passion and belief. A hard-nosed bunch of racers determined to take on the big dogs, even when no one gave them a second thought. It didn't take long for these racers to become contenders. In their first season, they kicked down doors with monumental wins. It turns out that gruff and fiery Tony Stewart at the racetrack wasn't the one his team saw. Working for Stewart was fun. And these racers, they didn't just become teammates. They became family. People bonded through countless unseen hours, relentless dedication, and a drive that's impossible to describe. But 2009 was just a preview. By 2011, they won their first championship with the number 14. 5 wins in the chase. They put on one hell of a smoke show. Stewart-Haas went from the new team to kicking butt. I'd say that makes for a pretty good story. By 2014, they'd grown into a 4-car operation. Danica Patrick, Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, Tony Stewart. You couldn't write a better script for their first year as a 4-car team. Winning the 2014 NASCAR Championship with the closer himself. At this point, they weren't just contenders, they were the team to beat, and they kept those moments coming. On the track, they stacked up wins.
To compete for a championship.
Harvick's gonna win at the last great Coliseum.
He gets Hamlin, they hit, and Stewart comes off turn 11, and he's coming to the flag. Tony Stewart wins. How did that happen? Kurt Busch for Gene Haas and Tony Stewart wins the Daytona 500.
Wow. Tick-tock, grandfather clock. Clint Boyer wins Martinsville. Eric Almirola is going to win at Talladega. Kevin Harvick wins the Brickyard 400.
Cole Custer wins Kentucky. Chase Briscoe becomes the 200th winner in the history of the NASCAR Cup Series.
Kevin Harvick is going to win at Richmond. He goes back-to-back. Cole Custer is an Xfinity Series champion.
Yeah, guys! That's awesome!
Riley Herbst is going to win in Indianapolis.
Chase Briscoe wins the Southern 500 and is going to the playoffs.
Off the track, they built memories that stay with us.
My daddy doesn't know, but I'm in charge of the 4 now.
You can't change it, dude. When was the first race at Talladega?
Talladega, baby.
They did it with racers and employees they believed in. with untamed passion, attitude, and tenacity.
Ben Fender's hurt feelings, I love it.
I'm gonna bust his ass.
Their story didn't always live up to expectations, but racing is humbling, and through every tough moment,
He's barrel rolling through the grass.
Stewart-Haas kept digging.
I just flat out just beat him.
The biggest day of my life, after the toughest day of my life.
Everybody who doubted us doesn't know us. Here goes Briscoe on the inside. The big move from Chase Briscoe. This could be the difference between making the playoffs or not.
Chase Briscoe's Darlington win this year to clinch a playoff spot in their last regular season race as a team. A great example of their grit. When we look back, it'll be the moments that stand out. How a scrappy team turned passion and boldness into results and entertained us all. They started as underdogs and ended up competing with the very best. Built on ambition and attitude, they didn't just win, they made their mark. That's how Stewart-Haas should be remembered. But here's the thing, I'd like to believe their story doesn't stop here. Phoenix may be the final race, but they'll live on in the garage, in the racers they developed. The partners they brought. The fans who cherish the memories. And the employees who carry their DNA. They didn't just build a team. They championed a mentality and a standard on and off the track. So when the engine's quiet, the smoke clears, and the final checkered flag waves, the spirit of Stewart-Haas will never fade. It's in every tough racer and every unapologetic person who challenges the norm. A story of grit, a story of passion, a story that even as one chapter closes, will never truly end, and one we'll certainly miss.